होइन यस्तो राम्रो गयो अझै पनि आई स्टिल म तपाईँलाई चाहिँ त्यो के भुलभुलामा राखिरहेको छु के आई हेभ नट कम टु फाउन्डेसन येट स्टिल न आल टक अबाउट यस्तो राम्रो देश यस्तो यति छोटोमा गरिरहेको छ भने नि why don't I hear so much about Korea? Well, it's only recently that you talk with the K-pop and all that Hallyu wave, you know, the Korean wave. It was very recent. त्योभन्दा अगाडि कोरियाले त गरिरहेको थियो तर you talk about Singapore, you talk about Vietnam, you talk about China, you talk about Taiwan, any country but Korea. Why? Why it is less global attention, underappreciated, under-discussed, under-researched? Why? Partly because यसको एउटै के भयो भने it was bit overshadowed by Japan and China. कि जापानको the first country, I think it was 1905, in the first time when a non-white country beat white country. Japan beat the Russians in some island there, I forget the name. And that changed the whole mentality of the non-whites. I think I better be careful in using these terms and terminologies. Any Asian country त्यसरी जितेको त्यो पहिलो केस थियो क्या त्यसै त्यो जापानको नि त्यो it had its charm for a long time, the Meiji Restoration पछि त होइन अनि यता फेरि चाइना त when it came त्यो भन्छ नि let China sleep. नेपोलियनले वार्निङ गरेको थियो कि let China sleep, for when it wakes up it will shake the world, and that's exactly what's happening now. That was fun. And किनभने चाइनाको you know what, again it was France. Napoleon said, go to east. Europe is too small. You want to make some money, you want to do some trade, go to east. That's where the prosperity is. That was Asia, not now, historically, until this colonial period of 200-300 years. And to let China sleep, you know, when it wakes up, it'll say, well, it's not, I don't remember whether I shared this with you. You China कसले खोल्यो? निक्सनले खोल्यो. यो किसिन्जर लगायो, निक्सनले खोल्यो. This was in 1972, होइन. And in 1978 Deng Xiaopingले opened up the economy, you know, reform measures all started. I'll tell you now, China is, you know, it is there for everyone to see it. 1994 April, that's when Nixon passed away. Towards the end of his life, Nixonले William Sapphire भन्ने त्यसको स्पिच राइटरलाई बोलाएर, you know what he said? William Sapphire, Bob, I think we have created Frankenstein. It's just his word, Nixon word. And that was 1994. Barely 15, 16 years of China's opening after 30 years from him. You know, that is China. How will you overshine with China? That was the difficulty. That's why Korea remains somehow overshadowed. One reason why Korea is less discussed भन्ने कुरामा. And अर्को चाहिँ Korea, because of North Korea is still there. So the South Korea को कुरा भयो कि security angle. You know, the military aspect. So to non-military आर्थिक उपलब्धिमा चाहिँ त्यो केन्द्रित हुन पाएन कि because of that North Korean thing.
Is it also because जुन Western narrative of success हुनु भनेको pure democracy-लाई मान्छ, but then here that was not the case. I mean, like एउटा military generalले आएर एउटा देशको इकोनोमी लिफ्ट गरिरहेको छ, and that's counterproductive to their narrative.
Wow, you will regret for asking me this question. Now show me, was Japan purely democratic country? One party system for 64 years. In the history of Japan, 70 years minus 6 years, LDP, Liberal Democratic Party, one party. Look at China. You know, to the Western eye, China is a communist country. Oh, prohibitive word, thou shalt not spell. But there is more private mechanism working there than many of the Western countries. And the merit, the emphasis on merit It's so much there. And it is extremely difficult in China to become a member of Communist Party because only the best and brightest will get that lot. I think we have a very limited understanding of how China is being run. Now, Banu ki mo pro China no, I have nothing to do with the China. I just read and I just distill out of it. And Singapore was a democratic country in a true. The elections were here fair, very fair and free, but still one-party system. My point is, if the party is doing well, what's your headache? And if your party, you are falling on that snake and ladder, a democratic system. I don't want to be falling on that snake again and again and again. That the Western, some people could use that as a narrative, and that Korea was. त्यो पनि अब त्यो मिलिट्री अथोरिटेरियन रिजम त छैन अहिले तर त्यही बेगमा frankly, but it does make difference how you put the narrative.
Right.
It's very important. And Singapore is number one. They are so good at beautiful narratives. And you really love it. And that, one thing, Washington Post, Lee Kuan Yew, you know what it said? He's the Western most favorite democratic dictator. But it's fantastic, man, for him to earn of all the newspaper Washington Post.
Yeah.
So narrative, you are right. Narrative also could make difference. But,
right.
But I tell you that इतिहास विकासको इतिहास हेर्ने हो भने त जहाँ स्थिरता राजनीतिक स्थिरता रह्यो कुनै पनि सिस्टम व्यवस्थाको आई डोन्ट केयर मलाई त स्थिरता चाहिएको छ मलाई दूरदर्शिता लिडरसिप चाहिएको छ के The question is, the debate is not whether it's a democratic, non-democratic. The debate is whether susasan or kusasan.